What is Warrior One, also known as Virabhadrasana 1? This pose traditionally would first be seen in Surya Namaskar B. If you don't know what Surya Namaskar B is, check out the video that I have made on Surya Namaskar B. This particular video today is just going to focus on Warrior One. Now this pose, like I said, it appears quite early on in a traditional yoga practice, Ashtanga or Vinyasa practice. But for most people's body, it's going to take a little bit of extra time to warm up to be able to get into the shape. The other thing with Warrior One is it's kind of taken a little bit of a beating over the last couple of years. Warrior One may not be for everyone, right? Warrior One will look vastly different in your body as it does in my body. And that's okay, and that's the beauty of movement. I don't necessarily think that we should just say, let's not do that pose altogether. Personally, I love Warrior One. I know a lot of people that love Warrior One. I also know people who found it really challenging to begin with, and then through working with a teacher or learning about their body more, their movement patterns, they've been able to find a shape that feels good for them. So if you're like, great Jess, I don't even know what Warrior One is, well then I'm gonna show you. Traditionally, you would come into it, or maybe not traditionally, but what you'll see a lot is you'll come into it from downward facing dog. So you'd step the right foot up, the back foot is grounding down. It's different to a lunge where the heel would be lifted. The whole foot is down and it's slightly turned out on an angle. And then you reach your arms up and you'd find this warrior pose. So the issue that people have with Warrior One, and I might say rightly so, is it can cause some tenderness in the back knee, or if you have any pre-existing conditions in your ankle and knee, that may not feel good. It can also twinge the lower back or kind of feel uncomfortable around the SI joint. I think where we've gotten stuck is that traditionally Warrior One would have been taught with heel to heel alignment. So if I was to trace a line from my right heel to my back heel, that's a straight line, right? So this is how it would have been taught back in the day. Even when I was practicing, 12 years ago starting, this is how it was taught, and then you'd reach the arms up. Now, I'm a little bit of a bad example because this doesn't feel too bad in my body, but I have really open hips. I also have pretty narrow hips. If you live in a body where your hips are a little wider, this is gonna happen, right? Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing to have the hips out like this. The problem is the cue that comes next is generally something like pull the right hip back, the left hip forwards. So this is what happens, yank. So if someone's going like really hardcore, like, yeah, I'm gonna get this pose, they pull the right hip back, the left hip forwards. The back knee starts to feel a little twingy. The lower back isn't gonna feel great. And maybe after you've practiced that pose a lot, you start to go, oh, it doesn't feel good. I hate Warrior One. Maybe a teacher tells you, don't do Warrior One. That's the problem. I don't think that movement is as black and white as that. So when I'm teaching Warrior One from down dog, my cue will always be have the feet hips width distance apart. Spin the left toes towards the top left corner of the mat. So notice they're not spinning all the way out, they're just spinning out a little bit, and then we'll step the right foot up. From here, reach the arms up. And then we refine the pose. We go, okay, well, do I feel spacious in the hips? Do I feel spacious in the lower back? If the answer is no, well, what can I do to make that happen? Generally, you'll just heel toe this right foot or the front foot out a little bit more so that you're widening the stance. So no longer are we on this tightrope of heel to heel, but we have more space for the right hip to naturally pull back a little bit. And again, it's not about pulling it all the way back, it's just a gentle drawing of the hips towards the front of the room. Now, they may never truly square towards the front. Totally fine, right? They might be more here. Maybe you find that if you shorten the stance a little bit, you're able to work the hips a little more square to the front. So these are all some little things that you might want to consider when you're doing Warrior One. Now, the benefit that Warrior One can have over something like a high lunge is the stretch that you get through the back leg. Because that heel is grounding down, you can get a nice stretch through your calf muscle down into the ankle. I find it's a really good pose for working with ankle mobility, for waking up the feet as well. A lot of people, if they're not paying attention to their feet, this will happen where the outer edge of the foot will roll up. They're collapsing through the inner arch. So it's a nice way to, work with the feet. You're really getting that outer edge to roll down, lifting up through the inner arch and waking up the whole inner chain of the leg. So, excuse me, the other thing I wanted to say about this pose is if you live in a pretty mobile body, say you're someone like myself, a little more flexible, when I first started to do this pose, this was me. And I was like, why do people hate Warrior One? I mean, this feels great. I must be really good at yoga, right? But then it took some time for me to understand that this compression that I was feeling in the right hip, this kind of, my pelvis is overly tilting and I'm like my right hip point is digging into my right thigh. Not ideal. So if I've had to learn to back out of it a little, lift these hip points up towards my ribs, that's gonna help lift the lower belly, and then I'm in Warrior One here. So just because you can come really deep into a pose doesn't make the pose better, doesn't make you better at yoga, doesn't make you stronger, doesn't make your Warrior One more beautiful, right? Ultimately, you want to try and find like a balance between effort and ease in each shape. So if something is just like not feeling good, how can you back out of it a little? How can you rearrange yourself in it to make it feel a little better? If it's kind of just feeling like, what I was here, I was just like, yeah, whatever. I was just like hanging out here. Then the balance or bringing the body back to balance is lifting out of the shape a little bit. So we all have unique bodies. We all have unique anatomy, and the way that we're gonna work into a shape, the way we're gonna make the shape look in our body is all gonna be very different from person to person. So I hope that you have found this tutorial useful. You can contact me through the website or I'm on Instagram. I would love to hear from you. Thanks, guys.